is there going to be retail stores in 5 years? Will retail stores exist? I personally don't think that they're going to exist. I think like places like Amazon are going to completely crush all the local retail stores.
So none at all. You can't go anywhere to buy your groceries. You can't go anywhere to buy your clothes.
Look at Walmart. Look at Publix. Look at all the Whole Foods. Look at all these different places where you can now go, and they're making it more convenient for you, where you can go and actually pick up your stuff, and somebody's waiting for you with bags outside, and will drop your shit in your actual car. Like, eventually, I think that all those places are going to turn into warehouses, and they're just going to either ship food, or you can come pick it up, and somebody's going to be outside. But not necessarily talking about groceries in general. I think that personally there's going to be restaurants, right? Because restaurants, you'd want to go out and have dinner with your wife or bring your kids and have like an entertainment. I just don't think like shopping, like retail shopping, like even clothing as an example, like a huge company, look at ASOS, where you can go and you can download the app, free 2-day shipping, free returns, and you get your return back in a couple of days. Like, why would I want to get up out of my house, go shopping when I have everything in the hand of my, I have everything in my phone, right in my hand?
Sure. Well, I mean, you can take into account some people that are kind of old school and they actually prefer to go somewhere than to shop online because they actually want to see the product before they purchase it. And not to mention the new Amazon stores that you can actually visit and go to, that you can actually shop and interact with. So why is Amazon taking this approach right now when they are the leader in internet shopping? Why are they opening up these physical stores that you can go to? What's the purpose of that if they plan on shutting down retail in general?
I think that those stores also are probably going to turn into warehouses. I think that every single retail store is going to be shipping or a fulfillment center, and they're going to turn them into warehouses and just ship it. I personally think it's easier, instead of opening up a retail store and having that huge overhead, I'd rather open a warehouse and just ship everything out and do like Amazon does, like 2-day shipping, pay a certain amount a year and get 2-day shipping. Like, I think all these retailers like Publix and Walmart's doing it right now. Walmart just came out with a whole 2-day thing. They're trying to copy Amazon, right? Walmart just came out, I don't know if you know that, but Walmart, you can now pay a certain amount and they give you 2-day free shipping. Okay. Or I don't even think you have to pay anything. I think it's literally just 2 days shipping, and they just ship it out to you.
I'm just not sure because there's so many innovations going on right now where you could actually pick groceries out of the store, you put it in your cart, and there's a sensor that basically tells you that there's an item in your car, and you can just walk out, just charges your account, whatever it is. So why are all these innovations going into effect when, they're not even going to be utilized in the next 5 years?
It's a good point too. I just think personally, I think everything that's going online right now, everything's online, right? So for one, if you don't have a website, I don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't have a business if you don't have a website, right? I don't care if you're retail, if you're service, if you're e-commerce, whatever it is that you're doing. If you don't, you need to have a website online because trends are going. Everything is online nowadays. People are looking online. They're shopping. Even if you're a local business or a service, people are still looking for you, right? So first thing, I think you need to definitely have a website if you're a business, especially if you're a retail business. If you're trying to compete with all these other guys, start selling your shit online. Why limit yourself to your retail store? I think once people see that it's so much easier to sell online, I know businesses personally that would rather sell online and close their retail stores and not have to deal with the headache of in-house employees, people walking in and out of their store all day. All they have to do is just take orders online, and not only, for example, you have a retail store and you're selling clothing. I'm just going to give you an example. If you're selling clothing and you have a retail store, you're limited to like a 20-mile radius of who you can sell to, right? Chances are somebody's not going to drive an hour to come buy a t-shirt, right? You're going to be limited to the area and the location that you're in. Now take that same model and mock-up and go to online. Now you can go nationwide, worldwide. Look at the demographics now that you're targeting. Look at the amount of people that you can target versus a 20-mile radius to worldwide. Like, why would you not want to do that? And I think that's where all these big companies are going. Look at Toys R Us as an example. Toys R Us, I don't know if you know this, but Toys R Us is in chapter 11 right now, and they're closing a bunch of stores. Mm-hmm. And why they messed up is because Toys R Us they decided to basically sell all their products through Amazon. They were like the innovators in the toy industry, and they started selling everything through Amazon. And people now, they realize that it's just so much easier to go on Amazon to buy the toys than to walk into Toys R Us and buy the toys. It's just easier. You get it in 2 days, right? Mm-hmm. So people who go to Toys R Us usually are buying gifts, buying their kids presents, or buying their kids toys, right? Why not just open up my phone, have everything that I'm looking for, easy to search for. I don't need to walk down 1,000 aisles to find what I'm looking for. I can just type it in, find it, buy it, and check out literally within a minute on Amazon.
So we're talking about 5 years here. So maybe by the year 2022, you're saying there's not going to be any retail stores left. And what would you say? I mean, 5 years is right down the line. So what would you say to those people that don't even know how to work the internet? They have a flip phone from 2002, and they don't know how to use a computer. How are they going to adapt to this?
I think just like every other adaptation that we have, they're going to learn. They're just going to be forced to learn to learn how to use all these cell phones. Like my parents did not know how to use cell phones, right? A couple of years ago, they did not know how to use cell phones. They wouldn't know how to pick up a phone. They wouldn't know how to do anything. Now I'm texting my mom every single day. My mom's texting me. My mom's sending out emails through her smartphone, right? So they're going to be adaptive to learn. And I think as a generation goes by and as time goes by, people are going to just cling on to the fact that it's just easier. You can pull your phone out and order everything online. It's easier for the consumer. It's easier for the actual business. It's better for the business because the business can focus worldwide instead of their 20-mile niche. It's just all around, I see it working better.
Okay, I agree that it is better for the business, but in the grand scheme of things, it might not be so good for the economy because a lot of people will lose their jobs if retail go out of business. So how is that going to have an effect on the economy actually? And everything needs to adapt, like we said, but in a 5-year span, that might be too quick, and the economy might take a hit because all these retail stores are going out of business. So maybe, the government needs to step in and make it elongate the process, maybe to 10, 15, 20 years.
It could be.
They need to step in and do something like that.
It could be. I just think in the next 5 years, there's going to be a drastic change, and we're going to feel it in the next 5 years. And for all those guys that have retail stores, they need to be prepared for that, and they need to make sure that their online marketing is perfect. They need to make sure that they have a website where they're selling their products online. They need to not rely on retail. Like, I'm going to give you a perfect example that we can use here on this topic. Uber Eats. Uber Eats, I love going out. I go out to eat at restaurants, right? But for me, I would rather not leave my office. I order Uber Eats every day because why? It's convenient, it's fast, it's easy, it's affordable, right? It's not like crazy, right? So all of these restaurants, I can guarantee you, all of these restaurants that are selling food, I can guarantee you that their walk-in rate of the people that are walking in, 3 years ago before Uber Eats came out versus now that Uber Eats is available, I can guarantee they have less people in their actual stores and more people doing Uber Eats, right? So let's say if you, on average, had 100 people walking into your restaurant eating on a daily basis 3 years ago, I guarantee you now that Uber Eats is out, you probably have half that amount, and those 50 people are still eating from you, but they're eating from you via Uber Eats. And not only do you have those 100 people, you probably have an additional 100 people ordering from Uber Eats too, because you're now not so limited. Somebody can come pick up your food and deliver it to you versus you driving 20 minutes out and picking up your food because it's inconvenient, right?
Okay, so do you think it's gonna transition to a collaboration like Uber Eats has with McDonald's, or you think it's gonna be like an Uber and Lyft kind of thing where they actually take the business from the taxi companies they're actually driving them out of business? Is it gonna be like a collaboration, or what is it gonna be like?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I know Uber probably has a bunch of stuff up their sleeve that they're gonna eventually rolling out and launching. I think all these huge companies like Amazon, Amazon just purchased Whole Foods, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm sure they have a plan for that as well. I personally think that they purchased Whole Foods to make them fulfillment centers in a couple of years, right? I don't think that they purchased Whole Foods just to purchase Whole Foods, right? It's just, I personally think that, and I'm going to go back to it again, if you have a retail store, you need to make sure that you have a website and you have a good digital online marketing presence. You need to be selling your stuff online. Stop getting into the mindset of waiting for somebody to walk into your store. Open up a website. A website is so easy to create. If you don't know how to create a website, hire a company to build you a website. If you don't know how to do the marketing, hire a company to build you a marketing. Because if you're talking about being a business person and growing your business, if you have a local business, think about the opportunity that you have when you can take all your inventory that's inside of your store and drop it into the World Wide Web, where everybody can see your products. Everybody can purchase from you. You're not limited to that specific small demographic, right? So if I was a business owner and I owned a retail store, that would be the first thing that I did. I would want to grow my online business because I know that everybody's on their phones. You walk around on the street, you see everybody walking on their phones. Walk around on their phones. Everybody's shopping. Everybody's buying online, right? I just think that the trend is slowly happening and people don't realize it, but eventually everybody's going to get smacked in the face. And those retail stores are going to start taking a big hit if they don't go with the movement.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, just That's something my mind wanted to say. I forgot what it was. Okay, so I know a lot of these retail store owners, like I was talking about, they're kind of old school, and all they know is actually having the retail stores, in the actual location where it is, and that's how people find them. I mean, they might not understand how people are going to be able to find them if they have their business online and increasing the online presence, and how they're going to go about doing that. Because I mean, you have a physical store, and people are going to see your sign. They're going to go into the store, and that's how they're going to find you. But how are they going to be found online? I mean, there's a whole process to this. It's not just being physical and being out there. It's a digital world. It's different.
You're talking about like the elderly crowd that don't know how to do everything themselves.
Not elderly, but like there's a lot of people out there that are like that.
Yeah, hire a company, have them build an online business for you. It's that simple. That's my solution to it.
Okay. Well, there you have it. All right.
Tell us what you think.
Thanks for joining.